Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. You folks know what happens next, right? Anytime XRP has been in the position that it is in right now, it's been right before explosive face-melting moves to the upside. I'm going to share with you perspectives from 3 different XRP chart analysts in this latest Moon Lambo hot jam, including a popular analyst who shares his updates on some very key XRP metrics and says that XRP is oversold, and so face-melting season is practically upon us. You know what happens next, folks. Do you actually think this time is different? Because I personally do not. I also want to share with you perspective first from some chart analysts who have been around probably the better part of a decade at this point, and they're starting to wonder if perhaps they're not thinking big enough as it pertains to Bitcoin, and I hope that's true. Because if Bitcoin goes way higher than a lot of analysts are thinking, there will be that much more money to rotate into XRP and every other altcoin under the sun. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 8:37 p.m. on Sunday, June 2nd, 2024. You know what today is, folks, don't you? It's XRP's birthday. That's right. Today, XRP is 12 years old. Woo! Here's a post from XRP community member Panos celebrating this, and he said, "Happy birthday to the OG DeFi chain." On June 2nd, 2012, XRP Ledger was born, and 100 billion XRP was created. 12 years later, with a proven track record of reliability and security, the XRP Ledger is at an inflection point. So many great developments happening and many amazing things being built by many projects and builders. In the end, it's all about the builders and the community. Without them, there is no ecosystem. Let's keep building for a better future. I just think that's cool as hell. XRP is one of the oldest cryptos out there, and for it to be one of only 3 coins in existence to have always been in the top 10 coins by market cap tells you all you need to know, right? Not literally all, but it's kind of important. This is the entire world, on a global scale. Investors in the world of crypto screaming at you, "We believe XRP makes sense," or else it would have fallen out of the top 10 coins during the SEC v. Ripple lawsuit. And I won't say it's impossible for it to fall out. That in and of itself, not that would mean that it's no longer viable, because you can have a bunch of coins that run up, and especially if you've got 2 stable coins in the top 10, in theory that's possible. But what I'm telling you is the fact that it's been up this high in market cap for its entire existence is telling. XRP at the time of recording this, 51.7 cents. Bitcoin at $68,372. And Crypto Fear and Greed Index, 73 out of 100. So just range bound still, folks. I'm sorry to come on and it's another day of what's happening today. Mostly sideways action. But it is interesting to keep apprised of what's going on and hear perspective from all sorts of analysts, because we are at a point where things are about to get nuts. Unless this time is different, and those are famous last words typically, so I don't think that's the case. Here's a post from chart analyst Matthew Hyland. Hashtag Bitcoin. Time for some volatility, ? And the answer is yes, even if it's not literally today or tomorrow, whatever. He's highlighting Bollinger Bands here, which we've been talking about, because for XRP, the Bollinger Bands are at the tightest they've ever been in history, even tighter than in 2017 when XRP ultimately blasted to its all-time high close to $4. And so Bollinger Bands in and of themselves don't tell you if there's going to be a big move to the upside or the downside. They just tell you that there's about to be a big move. And in this, so then you just look at the other factors. It's like, what's the environment we're in? Are we in a bear market? Are we in a bull market? We're in a bull market, obviously, right? So what is it? What is most probable? Well, explosive move to the upside is what's most probable. Here's chart analyst Tech Dev, and he's been around for, I don't even know when he jumped into crypto. I started following him over half a decade ago. 456,000 followers on X. This is a Bitcoin USD chart, and he wrote, "Historic move imminent. Bitcoin's 5-day bullish compression has reached its highest level in 8 years." And what he's talking about is Bollinger Bands. That's literally what he's talking about here. Highest compression in, what do you say? Yeah, 8 years again. So Again, folks, when this happens, when you have this type of compression, when the Bollinger Bands get this tight, it does indicate something is going to happen. Do you actually think what's most probable is a move to the downside? I mean, I wouldn't say it's literally impossible. We're speaking in terms of probability, though. Look at the environment we're in. I'm guessing massive burst to the upside. That would be my for fun guess. And take a look at this. This is a headline from the Daily Hodl. Bitcoin flashing signal that preceded 9-month parabolic rally, according to crypto strategists. And they're actually talking about tech dev specifically. And there's a lot of agreement on what is actually cited here. So check this out. You'll find this very interesting. And this, I'll also say, if this is indeed going to come to pass, my God, we are way underestimating what's about to happen in alt season, and specifically with XRP. XRP has never been so perfectly teed up to go on a face-melting rally. I mean, other than fine 2017, sure, when it was like half a penny and then went to almost $4, sure. But, you know, outside of that, this is it, folks. The time we're in right now, this is it for XRP. You know what happens next, right? We've seen this movie before. Anyway, piece reads as follows. A closely followed crypto strategist says Bitcoin just flashed a signal last seen before the dramatic rallies of the 2017 bull market cycle. Pseudonymous analyst Tech Dev tells his 452,600 followers, well, he's got more now, on the social media platform X that the Bitcoin versus M1 money supply chart just breached the resistance of the exponential moving average Bollinger Bands on the monthly chart. According to Tech Dev, the same thing happened in the first months of 2017 before Bitcoin printed gains of more than 2,600% in less than a year. And he said, quote, "You're looking at the first breakout of Bitcoin against M1 money supply since March 2017, when it went historically parabolic for 9 months," end quote. M1 money supply tracks the amount of liquidity sloshing in the U.S. financial system by summing up all physical money, including coins and currency, demand deposits, traveler's checks, and other checkable deposits. According to TechDev, the signal suggests that traders and investors are underestimating the upside potential of Bitcoin in this market cycle. And he said, quote, "Comparisons and trend projections involving 2021 may end up dramatically underestimating things." And folks, before I continue with this, I just want to know, I got a response from chart analyst Credible Crypto on this, which you're going to love to see. Look, I don't make price predictions, and the number that's on your screen right now, which I'm going to read in a second here, it's wild. I'm not saying I'm counting on it, because I'm absolutely not. But if this actually comes to pass, which isn't technically impossible, my God. Alt season's going to be the most insane since 2017. But anyway, he says one interpretation of this is, in 2021, Bitcoin was carried to new USD highs by increased money supply. In 2024, it's gotten there on its own demand and thus broke out against M1. Add the anticipated M1 growth this time, and we likely see Bitcoin outpace expectations based in part on 2021. End quote. TechDev says that Bitcoin may soar to over $400,000 in less than 1 year if it follows in the footsteps of the 2017 bull market. And he says, quote, and he's even skeptical of that too. He's just saying this is what he sees based on the data. But he says, "I know it's ridiculous." That's a quote from him. "I know it's ridiculous. Not my call. $70,000 to $420,000 in a year sounds crazy, as $1,000 to $20,000 did. I wouldn't have called that either." So I don't know. I don't know to what degree he thinks that's plausible at all, but he said it. So if that comes to pass, hey, I would not mind it. Now, of course, I will have sold all of my Bitcoin prior to that. I will just say that. And, you know, but I'm not trying to sell the tops of anything. You know, I'm fully expecting I'm going to sell when I'm very happy with my returns. And then if it goes way higher, I don't care if any coin that I sell goes 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times higher. Don't care. Can't time the top. I'm just going to make sure I get mine. Trying to time the top is a fool's errand. And anybody that critiques you for selling too low is an idiot, because nobody knows for sure what's going to happen. And it's never stupid to secure profits. That's what I think. And so that post that I just shared with you, which was cited in that article, was reposted by chart analyst Credible Crypto. And he said, first time we have broken out against M1 money supply since 2017. Would suggest that we are still in the same cycle that began in 2018, and that the real blow-off top of this cycle is yet to come. lines up with what I've been saying for years. Who's ready for some parabolic expansion? Bitcoin. And so, Credible Crypto, he has been stating this going back to probably 2019, I want to say. But he's been saying this is actually, the 2018 move. That's actually just the beginning of basically a longer cycle, like kind of like a super cycle. And that what we saw in 2021 wasn't in and of itself its own cycle. And he's laid out his thesis on that. I've covered it on this channel. We'll see if he's right. We'll see if he's wrong. But that's part of the reason that he thinks that this cycle is going to wrap up sooner than most people think. He's thinking more likely this calendar year, and there's a lot of people that are saying that this is going to bleed into like October of next year, 2025. Maybe those people are right, but I'm skeptical of that. I would not be surprised if this wraps up sooner. I mean, even if you don't buy into the exact thesis of Credible Crypto, I mean, if you look at liquidity cycles, they're not exactly 4 years; they're less than that. So you'd expect it to, over time, end up being obvious that it's sooner than that anyway. But is what it is. Chart analyst Tony Severino. Just want to highlight this. He pointed out the same thing on October 28th of last year. He said Bitcoin versus M1 money supply is breaching extremes not seen since 2017. Both 2019 and 2021 failed to reach such levels on the Fisher transform, 6-year base building surviving a pandemic and systemic collapse, FTX. Starting to think maybe I'm not bullish enough on Bitcoin. So take it for what it's worth. These are people that have been around in crypto for the better part of a decade, and they're starting to wonder if perhaps they're just not thinking big enough. And I hope that's the case. Here's a post from Charting Guy. If you haven't swapped your Bitcoin for ETH or altcoins, now is the time to do it, in my opinion. Bitcoin dominance topped, ETH BTC bottomed, hashtag alt season has begun, and only gets more and more drastic as time goes on. Okay, and so he's been saying this for some time. He thinks that, even specifically for XRP, he thinks this month or next month, July, is when we're going to see the first major move for XRP here. And, for the people that do rotate profits out of Bitcoin into altcoins, I would hazard a guess that there's a really good probability that's a wise financial decision. I'm not going to do it personally, nothing against anybody who does. I just have really strict rules for myself, and some of those rules have to do with what happens when I sell. And when I sell a cryptocurrency finally, which, mind you, I've never cashed out to USD ever. But when I finally do, that money stays on the sidelines. All of it stays on the sidelines until we have a market collapse. And then I'll be willing to put a small percentage of it. And maybe I'll put 10% back in, say, something like that. But other than that, the only money I'm going to invest in crypto is new money that I earn. That's it. The rest of it I'm keeping out to stay diversified and secure those profits. So it'll be in boring financial stuff. So presumably, equities, maybe some real estate. It'll be whatever it's going to be, but nothing as exciting, nothing that's going to offer the types of returns that crypto offers. But that's the point. At that point, it's going to be about preservation for me for that. But I'm still absolutely going to invest in crypto. And so I think that I'll probably, since I'm going to be more conservative, I'll earn less than I otherwise would. And I'm okay with that. Because the trade-off is I take on more risk. I don't want to take on more risk than I already have. I'm happy with the amount of risk, and so that's something I set up for myself. But I think it's actually quite plausible, perhaps likely, that if I would just rotate my Bitcoin profits into altcoins, yes, I'd probably do better. But again, do I want the risk? For me personally, no, I don't. But I don't blame anybody that does want to take on that risk. Here's a post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. He said, XRP is currently at a level in 2017 and 2020 that sparked off a massive rally. Will this time be different? And folks, this time will not be different. Like that's my belief. I could be wrong, but my conviction is my conviction. That's why I keep saying in this video, what happens next. We have seen this movie before. XRP hits new all-time high, enters price discovery, melts faces. There is no good reason for that to not happen unless alt season is canceled. If we have some sort of global black swan event and markets, all risk on markets, including equities, just crumble and fall, fine. Okay, but I wouldn't blame XRP for something like that. I'm just saying if we have a proper alt season, there is no reason for XRP not to go. There is no excuse. And if my suspicion is wrong and we have a proper alt season and XRP doesn't go, we're going to need to do a post-mortem on this thing because that would not make any damn sense. And I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does, we'll talk about it as a community. I don't think that's plausible. Here's a post from chart analyst Dark Defender, XRP USD chart here. He said, "Hi all, we closed the May candle and discussed Elliott wave targets. XRP on the weekly candles formed cup handle pattern targeting $1.33 with a 76.85% increase. Fisher indicator says XRP is oversold." Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case at all. And I mean, we've been talking about all sorts of other metrics, including the relative strength index, which is the other day was at an all-time low. Which indicates oversold conditions. I mean, but pick a metric. XRP BTC at a historic low, hovering around there anyway. And when you see that happen, that is what happens before XRP goes on crazy rallies. You know, you could look at the XRP market dominance. I've been talking about this recent days. Look at the XRP market dominance percentage. You can pick all sorts of metrics. And I'm telling you, like all of these metrics being where they are, it only in history, we have 12 years of history now, it has only happened before major rallies. That's it. And that is what's happening now. Is this time different? No, those are famous last words. I do not believe that. Here's another post from chart analyst Dark Defender. "Happy birthday, XRP. We know what happens when you stroll under the 100-week moving average. I leave it here for you to enjoy." And so for those of you looking at the screen, you can see what he's talking about here. At key times here, when XRP is under the 100-week moving average, explosion happened the last two market cycles. Look at where we are right now. That's what he's highlighting. So it's just one more thing to consider, one more thing to look at. And then there was this from Chart Analyst Cryptos, and this is from a few days ago, but it's worth highlighting here. On the XRP BTC pair, he says, XRP BTC and XRP dominance have been forming this inverse head and shoulders for 13 weeks right on top of significant support level. Hopefully this is the start of a bigger time frame reversal. And I covered that in a previous video, but it's worth quickly just reminding you, like these types of things as highlighted here, this is where XRP sits right before reversal. So it's not to say that things can't look even more quote unquote dire, you know, as some people would think that the XRP price against Bitcoin now is. I don't think that's bad at all, because history has shown us that when XRP is priced this low against Bitcoin, that's before the magic happens. So yeah, in that sense, it's very good. I'm very happy for this. But yes, things could go lower. So eventually the market finds a bottom. I just don't give a damn. That's what's going to happen. The market's going to find a bottom, and then the rally's going to happen. That is my absolute expectation here. So again, you know what happens next, and we are in for a good time. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.